Center by Zudi. Build any app your company needs in a week by Northeast Men's Health, the leader in the sexual health of men. And he joins us this morning on the Harbor One hotline. Hey, Bill.
Greg, how we doing?
Doing well. I know you said post-game in the end Aaron Rodgers was just too good, but your team on the road, hostile environment, what kind of positives did you take away from that effort yesterday?
Well, I mean, competitive enough to get the game into overtime. Just came up a little bit short. Have to do some things better in critical situations, and so those are the things that we're working on. Continue to work on. We've been working on. We just gotta do them better.
Bill, when you look at the game afterwards, kind of watching it, you guys did a really good job for most of the game against Aaron Rodgers in the passing game. And there were some runs that they were able to get on the ground. Was the mindset going into that game to kind of, maybe give up a few yards in the rush game because you wanted to kind of play more of a coverage in the back end?
No, not really. I think you have to defend, obviously, everything. They're a very good team. They do a good job in all situations, and you got to stop the running game. You got to stop the passing game. We got to play good team defense. If you do one and not the other, then they'll get you with with whichever one you're light on. So. No, the idea was to try to play good team defense and defend the Packer offense. I mean, it's hard. They're a very good offense, and they have a great quarterback. And in the end, he made some great throws. He made some great throws.
Bill, despite those great throws, you found yourself 2nd and 5 at the Packers' 46 in overtime, needing just a field goal to win the game. Why not go for it on 4th down? Why not a little bit more aggressive play calling in that spot when you're punting it back to a guy that you think is the best in the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't convert there, they're 1 first down away from field goal, and so I feel very good about that. We've had him on a long field before and put the ball down on the 10-yard line. So, unfortunately, he hit a big pass there on 2nd down, and then just kind of did a good job on some of the RPOs of they converted another 2 other 3rd downs and were able to move the ball in the field goal range. So.
Obviously, a bit of a baptism by fire for Bailey Zappe. A little bit about what you saw from him yesterday in his first NFL action.
Well, I think Bailey did a good job of stepping into the situation. He did some good things, some things that we need to improve on, but that's true for all of us and certainly for all young players. But all things considered, he stepped in, showed he was ready to go, and competed well.
Bill, when you look at Marcus Jones, how important is it that you can kind of build off your return game, being able to kind of do what it did yesterday, giving you guys some great field position? And obviously, it's always about field position battle, but it looked like whether it was kickoff return or punt return, he did a really good job of really being able to change kind of the field position game for you. How important is it to build off of that moving forward?
Well, it's always good to have the threat of the explosive returns, and that just sets up everything else, and the different ways you can return the ball. So just puts the coverage, particularly punt coverage, under a little bit more stress when they have to protect and worry about coverage. But yeah, Marcus has been working hard on all aspects of the return game, and return kickoffs last week against Baltimore, and then took on both this week, and thought he did a good job. So yeah, we'll keep building on that.
Bill, I'm only 55, and I think I would have an issue sprinting down the sideline like that. Do you need an ice pack this morning, or everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Bill, can you kind of take us through that situation a little bit? I saw the frustration after the play with the touchdown or non-call touchdown, and it seemed like you were yelling at the officials about them not resetting the play clock right away. What was going on in that moment? Can you kind of give us a little insight?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what play you're talking about now.
Where I think you wanted them to start the play clock or the game clock, and you were kind of yelling at the officials where you actually threw your headsets.
Yeah. Well, again, any questions on the officiating really need to go to the officials. I can't comment on that stuff.
Bill, just curious, the apparatus of the Brian Hoyer status is out for the game. Obviously, Tua's injury last Thursday night has brought increased attention into the league's handling with concussions and concussion protocol. Is that someone from your own staff that says, Bill, Brian's out with a concussion, or is there the neurological doctor from the NFL that is the one that passes along that information?
Well, on the medical side of it, I'm totally out of all that, so I don't have anything to do with that. All we get is that we have a line of communication where the status of a player is updated to myself and the other members of the coaching staff, and so that we follow that process with every injury. Doesn't matter what it is, but the medical decision on what the player's status is made by medical people, and as I said, our line of communication on that is it's really the same on all injuries. The process behind the scene may be different. I don't know about that. I'm not involved in that, but the determination of the player's status is that process is always the same.
Watching that Tua situation unfold, do you feel like in general the league is doing enough when it comes to concussion protocol, or do you think there should be some changes?
Yeah, again, that's not really my field of expertise. Those are medical decisions. There are league people at the game that are involved in that. So I think that's really something you should talk to them about. I don't personally have anything to do with that, and I'm not qualified to talk about different injuries and different classifications and what should or shouldn't happen. That would be for the professional medical people.
I just from a head coaching position, I don't know if you've ever intervened. If you see a player who you may be obviously able to say, hey, that doesn't look right. That the way that player is reacting, it looks like that player may have a concussion.
I've definitely done that before. If I see a player that I think is not functioning properly, and for some reason it hasn't been identified, then absolutely I would. And I have done that. I would say not recently. Those are things that have happened, at other points in my career. But yeah, absolutely. If the player doesn't look like he's functioning properly, and then we evaluate him with the medical people. But we also, as a secondary check, even if the medical people were to clear a player, we still go through a coaching clearance to make sure that he's ready to play football, not just medically cleared. So we always have a secondary evaluation on that.
Bill, when you look at Bailey and what he was able to do, I'm guessing he probably throughout the week, doesn't get many snaps, but he came in, he did a good job. And I know I saw you talking to him on the sidelines a little bit. How important is the message to you to get across to him like, hey, when you get an opportunity to throw the football, if there's nothing there, maybe, let's try to just eat it and put ourselves in a position where we can fight to play another down rather than, forcing balls into areas that might be a little bit difficult to do?
Well, quarterback mechanics and operation and decision making are things that we talk about from day one. I mean, the minute he walks into the building, that's part of the position, and part of the teaching at that position. So that's always been a top priority for the quarterbacks, no matter what position they held on the roster. That's the position they play and how to play it. So we talk about that relentlessly. It's the major part of their job, besides the huddle, the operation, handing the ball off, and all that. But in the passing game, that's what it's about. Is the quarterback's understanding of the play and decision making based on a variety of factors that could happen on any individual play. So we'll always talk about that, and that's a key part of that position.
Bill, Isaiah Wynn struggled yesterday, got replaced by Marcus Cannon for a bit, and then when Jonnu went down, Marcus spelled Jonnu on that side of the ball. What did you see from Isaiah that led to you replacing with Marcus Cannon in that game yesterday?
Yeah, well, Marcus was active for the game. We planned on playing him anyway, so we did.
You get the Lions and Dan Campbell on Sunday. Any chance you ever let Hard Knocks do a Patriots season, Bill?
Right now, we're not really. It's not really a big focus for us. Let's try to get our team ready to go against Detroit and have a good week of practice and preparation.
Well, the one thing you guys did really well was you're able to run the ball effectively again. Is that something going into every game where I think, it seems like just from an outsider's perspective is that's what you want to do first. You want to be able to run, and then kind of let the passing game come after you establish the run. Is that the mindset of Matt Patricia and you and Joe Judge as far as the offensive guys?
No. It would depend on the situation and the team we were playing and how we matched up and what they did. So I think the way this game started out and what Green Bay was trying to do defensively and then how it evolved through the course of the game was different. Same thing last week with Baltimore. The way it started out and the way it finished weren't the same. Even the Pittsburgh game. So you just have to be ready to adjust. Defensively, you go into the game maybe with an idea of how you think you're going to get played or what your opponent's going to do defensively. You may or may not get that, as you can't count on what they're going to do. They might do what you think they're going to do, or they might do something that's different. And for whatever the reasons are, you have to, find out from them why they made the decisions that they did strategically. But that certainly has a lot to do with it as well. So if we have good backs, we like to see them run the ball. We like to be productive in the running game, but just to run it to say you run it and not be productive with it, I don't think that's a particularly good idea.
All right, Bill, we'll let you get to work. Thanks for taking the time this morning. We'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right.